The Salvation Project, Interstellar Immigration is not the way to salvation at the end of the day. Part 7 on the theme of Oriental philosophers' analysis of contemporary human confusion. Following the human landing on the Moon, Mars exploration has once again become one of the hot issues of concern to the international community. The probe flying into the deep space of the universe has once again, led people's exploration eyes to the distant space and time, to the overlap of the past and the future. At the same time, astronomers claimed that they had found some planets suitable for human habitation in deep space, all of which reignited people's attention to the subject of interstellar migration. In particular, Hawking, the crown figure of contemporary human scientific rationality, deserves special attention. He also made a judgment before he left the Earth and turned into a brilliant nothingness. He believes that interstellar migration is the way to the end of human salvation, and the history of such predictions about the end of disaster is endless. So there is quite a part of these fables, either belonging to the strange power of the Eastern witch god Han or belonging to the Western astrologer or priest's confusion of the people's minds. Today, Hawking, the crown figure of contemporary scientific rationality, also points out that the disaster of the end of mankind is likely to come because of the vicious expansion of physical greed. Because of the vicious expansion of people's physical greed, human beings may face the doomsday disaster in the flame of nuclear war or the collapse of the ecological environment. So, when Hawking made such a prediction, it was an alarm bell for mankind from the overlap of the beginning and end of time. Who is Hawking? Hawking crouched in the Analects of Confucius in the malformed body, which symbolizes the contemporary scientific and rational bright crown. Hawking once lived at the beginning of time and predicted that time would disappear and time would annihilate. Hawking once declared that the formation of the universe and the emergence of human destiny have nothing to do with God, the future destruction of the universe and the future extinction of human destiny have nothing to do with God. Hawking claims that he wants to create a theory of everything. What is a theory of everything? That is the absolute truth that he wants to create in place of God. It is such a crown figure of scientific rationality that he clearly predicted that the vicious expansion of contemporary human physical greed may usher in the doomsday disaster of mankind in the name of nuclear war or the collapse of the ecological environment. At the same time, Hawking also pointed out that one of the ways to save this doomsday disaster is interstellar immigration. Hawking is obviously the interstellar immigration, as one of the doomsday redemption programs. In my opinion, the greatest crisis of contemporary life philosophy is the materialization of human life, the pursuit of material greed, and becoming the king of contemporary human values. Such a phenomenon is the root of the depraved and sinful philosophy of life of the entire contemporary human race, and it is also, the general root that may trigger the Armageddon nuclear war, or the collapse of the ecological environment. If we do not eliminate this root, we will not eliminate this root in the sense of life philosophy. Then, even if you immigrate to other planets, the result can only be the reincarnation of sin again, and the result can only be the reincarnation of human degeneration again. And the result of the fall will be a repetition of the tragedy of the doomsday disaster that may occur on Earth. So, from the perspective of the entire finite universe, this doomsday disaster, is the inescapable fate of mankind itself. Because according to modern scientific rationality, the whole universe is a limited process, and this limited cosmic process will also be in the process of extreme expansion. When it reaches an extreme state of expansion, it will tend to destroy, or present a state of absolute death of incandescence, or due to extreme expansion, causing extreme collapse. In short, the universe itself is finite. He will usher in the fate of destruction, will usher in their own doomsday. So in such a process, the fate of human beings is only a short moment in the finite universe. So from this macro point of view, from the perspective of the overall lifespan, the end is inevitable, and the finite will perish into nothingness. Before this overall fate, human beings may also die out due to unpredictable disasters, such as those that once led to the extinction of dinosaurs. But both ways, an overall doomsday fatalism, an unpredictable and sporadic event. The doomsday of mankind caused by these two conditions is not in our discussion today. What we're talking about here is just a doomsday disaster caused by the vicious expansion of people's physical greed, and this doomsday disaster, it seems, will occur in two ways, is a probable event. The first way is the collapse of the ecological environment, the second way is the nuclear war triggered by human beings, burning the earth with nuclear flame, but also burning the fate of human beings. Faced with such a realistic danger of doomsday, Hawking, as the crown figure of scientific rationality, proposed to save the disaster of doomsday by means of interstellar immigration. So this approach, which we have just described, is a misnomer because it fails to eliminate the general root cause of the apocalypse, which is the expansion of material greed, the root cause of the philosophy of life. So, as I said just now, even if the interstellar immigration is completed, it is only the beginning of another cycle of evil and degeneration. So, Hawking, as a master of scientific rationality, only believes in the logic of property. He does not believe in the human mind, or he does not believe that there is a human mind independent of the logic of property. Therefore, he cannot understand that only the soul has been redeemed, the reality of the fate of the whole human race can be redeemed. Only in the sense of philosophy of life, completed the salvation of life, completed the salvation of the soul, only from the sense of philosophy of life, completely negated the physical greed as the king of human values. Such a phenomenon, human beings can be saved from the current suicidal doomsday disaster. There is no hero in the eyes of the so-called mediocrity, and there is no soul in the eyes of scientific rationality. Therefore, Hawking, a scientific and rational wise man, put forward the plan of human doomsday salvation, which seems to be extremely absurd, because it does not solve the fundamental problem of life philosophy. I have therefore come to the final conclusion that, If mankind is to be truly saved in its last days, it must first save the hearts of those who are rotting in their sexual greed. Otherwise, even if the efforts of interstellar immigration have achieved the historical success of the times, it is just another evil reincarnation into the gates of hell.